All right, Rob, now that we know how the hammers work in a roundabout way, tell me about the maintenance that we have to look out for on this unit.
Okay, well, one of the key advantages of the R-Series hydraulic hammers by Arrowhead rock drill, we've eliminated probably the single most problematic component that exists in hydraulic hammers, and that would be the tie rod, or the through bolt sometimes as they're known, which hold the entire hammer together. In this design, we have a patented tool holder fixing system that doesn't require that we use tie rods, and as a result of that, it really has limited the amount of maintenance required. You'll physically see bolts on the head bracket and around the valve. They physically just need to be checked for tightness, and you do that by going around the machine, looking visually, and also just checking with your hand to see that they're tight. If they need retightening, it's just a case of quickly retightening those bolts, and then we're back in business. The fact that there's very little apart from the bolts, the only other thing really you've got to look at is the gas pre-charge. Typically, that is about as complicated as blowing a car tire up, as I've said before, and we want to make sure we deliver maximum impact energy per blow. We check the gas from time to time to ensure that's the case.
And with Dominic's equipment being the authorized dealer for Arrowhead rock drills, we have all those specifications listed in our computer system. We have all the gauges to check that. If it's a hammer that you have purchased, you can always bring it back here for a regular service interval. We're happy to look over things for you, check that gas pressure. Each one's set to a different PSI depending on the actual hammer itself and the volume of nitrogen that goes into it. All of our mechanics have been well versed in checking this, and also in rebuilding them. We'll get into that a little bit later in the day as well, but that is something you can bring your hammers back here to Dominic, so we'll be happy to go through that just on a maintenance interval for you.
I guess the big issue with all hydraulic hammers is the greasing kind of aspect of the maintenance. We on this design, and as with many, have a central greasing point right here, and what we're doing there, every 2 hours, we're trying to put, typically on most compact sizes, 10 pumps using a grease gun of appropriate high temperature grease. So we get a good liberal coating of grease all over that tool. Stops wear and tear on the bottom end of the hammer. Also stops a lot of the dust sometimes generated by the operation of a hydraulic hammer going up inside of the breaker itself, creates all kinds of potential problems. If we keep plenty of grease in the bottom end of this hammer, we're typically going to have a lot less problem.
So about every 2 hours you want to be, giving the machine a break, 10 to 15 good pumps into that to keep it lubricated, and that also does a seal for keeping the dust from going up inside.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now that we've talked about grease here on the bottom end, let's talk about the different tool options that actually go into the hammer, and how do we change that out?
Okay, well, just flipping this around again. Firstly, you'll notice that there's a very, very straightforward tool retaining system here. We call this the donut ring that sits inside that housing there. We get a flathead screwdriver, we pry that grommet out of there, and then we go around the backside with the same screwdriver, and there's one pin that basically, with the screwdriver, we push the pin out, the pin comes straight out, and then the tool will just quick and easy straight out the bottom. Very, very straightforward, very easy to work on. Makes changing tools, which is normally quite a difficult job with hydraulic hammers, a very simple one here with this line of product. The tool options available, typically moil point, which kind of looks like a pencil point, standard chisel, wide chisel, the flat end or the blunt, and there are also tamping pads, some specialty super blunt type tools, lots of different options for the tooling, but typically most applications either have the chisel or the point, and sometimes the wide chisel.
Okay. Well, all of those different tool options are also available, so if you want to give us a phone call at 570-639-1896, one of our sales associates will be happy to give you a price on both the hammer and talk about the tool options that you need. Just again, probably the chisel or the point is probably going to be the most prevalent ones out there, but as Rob mentioned, there are several different options that we can go through as well.